which I had this morning. I went all the way to a different Kroger because I knew it was open since 6 o'clock in the morning because the one at my school doesn't open till 8 and I have class at 8. So I was like, dang it, I'm going to reroute and I'm going to go get one. And luckily,
2 hours later.
test days are the best days because once you finish, you can go.
Very excited.
Get out of class early.
Okay, so it's video rant time. Why? Well, because it's Sunday and I have this drive home that's going to take me a while, and so perfect time to talk to you. So here's what I want to talk about. Let's start with this one. What steps can you take to actually make things better in the hobby? I'm going to give you one. Just one step. The best one. The most important one. The most important step that you can take to actually help better the hobby, vote with your dollars. The most powerful thing that you have is that vote with your money. What do I mean by that? Well, instead of bitching and whining and complaining about people doing things wrong and not caring for the animals properly and not caring about their customers anymore, not returning calls, selling animals that they shouldn't be selling because they're either sick or have been exposed to sick animals, or sending things out with mites and all that kind of thing. Instead of doing any of that, just simply don't buy from those people. Here's the problem. You see people complaining and whining and bitching on Facebook about so-and-so that's selling things really cheap and ruining it for everybody, or this other person that's selling animals that have RI or have mites or whatever it is. And you know what they do when they see a really low price, like half off what everybody else is? They quietly go and buy from that person anyways. Stop being a hypocrite, all right? And just vote with your dollars. Don't support the people that clearly don't support the hobby. They're in it just to make money. They don't care about the animals. They don't care about their customers. They don't care about us at all. They're just there to make a buck. Don't help them out. If you stop buying from these people, they'll go away. I guarantee it. They will go away because they're only in it for one thing, money. If we stop giving them money, then they disappear. You can look back at the history of ball python as an industry as it is right now, and you can name a whole lot of people that were known to just be in it for the money that nobody ever hears about anymore because they're gone. The money stops coming in, they're gone. They move on to something else. I have no idea what these people are doing. But there's a bunch of names that you can say in that situation where they were here one day, their name was like on everybody's mouths every day, and now nobody hears about them. They completely disappeared. Right? There's a bunch of names like that. And no, I'm not going to go over names because it's not what I do on these videos. But you guys know who they are. They know who they are. They're not going to watch this video. Do you know why? Because they just dropped off completely from the hobby. They don't keep reptiles. They don't do any of it. They're just gone because they were only in it for one thing, money. That dried up, moved on to the next thing, whatever that may be. And so that's what we need to keep doing. When somebody's an ass, and we know that they're an ass and they're undercutting everybody else and they're being ruthless and they just don't care about anything other than making money. Real simple, just don't buy from them. I don't care how low it is. I don't care what they're doing. Just don't buy from them. And they'll go away and we'll all be better off for it. That's the way that you can help the hobby, really. I get people asking me all the time, you said that I should do something positive. Well, there's something positive right there. Promote and advertise the fact that you don't support people like that. No matter how big or small you are, you always want to expand your collection, right? You're always trying to buy new things, bigger, better, nicer things. Let it be known that you're only buying those newer things from reputable people. Promote the people that help you. Promote the people that you're happy supporting so that they stick around, and that will in the end really just help you. Believe me, it will. And just show people that you're not supporting the people that clearly don't care about our hobby. You don't have to put names out there. You don't really have to shame anybody or embarrass anybody because everybody knows who they are. When I say people that are knowingly selling animals that are sick, that everybody knows their collection has mites or they have an issue, I don't have to say a single name. And I guarantee you that everybody's watching this video right now has got names popping up in their head. They know who I'm talking about. And there's not one or two, there's a whole bunch. But you guys know. And so I don't have to say any names because you know who they are, they know who they are. And so the way that we make those people go away is stop giving them your money. It's as simple as that. It's not worth it, and it'll just make the whole thing worse. So just don't give them the money, pay a little more. somebody that'll give you a quality animal, quality support, and you don't have to worry about anything, instead of, you know, whining and bitching on one side but then trying to save a buck on the other by supporting these a-holes. So don't do that. Why can't I sell my $5,000 snake that looks like a $200 snake? Really, that's the way that it should be asked, right? You see all these people that have these animals for sale, you know, $5,000, $4,000, $3,500, and you see the animal, you're like, oh, but it looks like a really nice, like, pastel yellow belly maybe, or, you know, it looks like a Mojave something. Like, it just doesn't look like anything. I don't care if you swear that there's 5 genes in the thing, it looks like crap. So why would I want to pay for it? I get it. Once or twice a year, you'll buy a male like that or a female like that to progress your collection, because you don't necessarily care what it looks like altogether, but you need those genes to make other things that you're working on, right? To just have more variety in your collections. I get that. But I just think those days are kind of gone where people consistently buy animals just going by the amount of genes that are in them. That was like a huge thing. I don't know if you guys remember, like back, you know, when people started putting 3 or 4 genes, it was like, oh my God, 4 genes? How did you do that? That's crazy. They're talking about the odds and everything else. And it was like impressive, and it was cool to have that, and it was cool to do that. It's not that cool anymore. I've seen snakes with 7 genes in them. And then you look at them, you're like, well, that's stupid looking. You know, you're just like, he's got 7 genes, but it looks like crap. So, you know, it's cool. It's a cool accomplishment, you know, because if it's a male, you can breed to like a simple female, you know, just like a yellow belly or a pastel or something basic you have laying around, and you can get really cool combos out of it, you know, 2 or 3 gene things that are really awesome. That's cool. I get that. But just like something that you see and like, wow, I gotta own that, there are very few that you can combine a whole bunch of stuff with and it still looks like something impressive. So when you see people bitching about these things, like, I've had this animal for sale for 6 months, no, the market's dying because I can't sell it. It's not dying. Even if your marketing is good in that particular case, you made a crap decision by making a shitty looking animal. You combined the wrong genes. You know, this isn't like everything goes with everything. It doesn't work that way. You have to be smart about your pairings. You can't just say, well, I have this male with 4 genes and I have this female with 3, and I'm going to put them together and everything's going to be awesome. Nope. Chances are everything's going to be muddy and you won't be able to tell what's what for the most part, and it's just not interesting anymore. That stuff is not that interesting. You see the guys that are working with really specific genes on low combination counts, but just making things that look really awesome. I like that. When they're focused, like, to the point where it's like, man, you worked on that so much to make it look a specific way. It's really, really cool. I think that's more impressive to me than, I mean, anybody can go buy a 3 gene female and a 3 or 4 gene male and put them together, and then you get a bunch of crap. That anybody can do that. But to find something that 2 or 3 genes together that look amazing, that takes a lot more thought and a lot more experience and a lot more just know-how, and that's a lot more impressive for sure. There's one animal, I think, that the more you add, the better it looks, and that's what Aussie does with his Orange Dream stuff. I think the Orange Dream is the only one that the more stuff you do on it, the cooler it gets. There are very few other genes that you can do that with. I really can't think of another one. But I know Orange Dreams, like 1 or 2 gene Orange Dreams are okay. And then you get to 4 and you're like, holy crap. And then you add the super and then your mind's blown. That's a huge exception. That's like one animal that does that. And does it incredibly well. Really, really impressive. But that's about the only one that I can really think of that does that. You know, so stop combining things for numbers and start working on things that actually go well together. So be smart about your pairings. You'll be a lot more successful selling your animals if you do that. It's hard to fork out that money, you know, when all you get is like a crappy looking snake that you have to explain to everybody every time why it costs that much money. That's kind of dumb. I'd rather have something that looks really beautiful and still works and does the job, you know, does the combos that I needed to do, and I have plans for it and whatever. But every time I open that drawer and I look at it, I'm like, wow, look at that. Like, that's where that money went. That was worth it. That's awesome. Instead of opening the drawer and saying, well, yeah, I know what it will do. It'll be cool. that's just, I think those days are gone. So, oh, this is another one that's really cool. That really, really gets me. When people try to sell an animal for like, I don't know, thousands of dollars, right? And then 2 or 3 of the genes that are in it are well known, you know exactly what it is. And then they throw some random name in there, you know, you never heard of, but because that pretend, I'm going to say pretend because most of them are pretend BS genes that don't really do anything. But because that pretend gene is in there, then they think it should be worth thousands. But then they complain that they can't sell it. There's been, you know, on King Snake and Facebook and every place else for 5, 6, 7 months for $3,500 or $4,000 and it won't sell. Oh no, the market's falling apart. I don't know what to do. Nobody's buying anything. Yeah, they're buying real genes. People are spending money on things that actually do something. So stop adding stupid names to things and thinking that is gonna sell. But these are the people that bitch and moan, right? So those are the people. I talked about one group before, the ones that have no idea how to market anything, right? So the market doesn't suck, your marketing does. I did that video a while ago, right? So that's one of them. And then these people that are trying to sell like their genes that are just in their head, just because they put it on World of Make Believe, no, what is it called? Oh, World of Ball Pythons, that thing. Just because it showed up there, they think that they should get $1 million for it. And no, that's not how it works. It's still just in your mind. See, people look at World of Ball Pythons and they think that because it's there, it's real, and that's what it means. The guys that run that website are really nice guys. I've talked to them before. I have a couple of things I put on there that were first and whatever. These guys are great. I talked to them and they really love what they do. Their website is absolutely beautiful and it's really helpful. It's nice to have. That being said, they don't have a way of knowing what is and isn't real. There's just no way. It's not possible for them to go over every single one of them. So if somebody sends them an animal, they say, look, I have this gene and I mixed it with this and this came out, and they send the pictures, they say, well, okay, obviously something happened there, and they give them some stupid name and they put it on the website. Fine, I'm not blaming the guys that run that website. I love them. I think they're great. I think the site is awesome. I use it all the time. But just because it's on there doesn't mean it's really anything special. You know, go on there and tell me how many red Asantics are on there. Like how many different animals are on there that are not called het red, but look exactly like it. How many animals look just like a Mojave? How many holy fire crap. There's gotta be 20 different animals on there that in the end are just a fire. You know, but they have no way of, like, what are they gonna do? Like, no, you're lying. No, prove it to us. Like, who are, like, that's not fair either. So it's like a self-policing thing where you really would have to, like, I mean, you should just know what you're doing and send it in and know that it really is real and it's different and all that stuff. But, you know, people get overexcited and start throwing crap on there that really shouldn't be, and they have no way of proving otherwise, so there it is. But my point is, just because it made it on there doesn't mean that you get to tack on your make-believe gene onto a 2 or 3 gene animal and then charge thousands of dollars more for it. Absolutely not. Get out of here with that. There's like 1 in 100 that are worth any money. No, you'll see 100 people saying they have something new. It's really not. It's just another thing that they didn't know that they had in their collection. And then it popped up, and so they think it's new. Or their own line. Like, would you go to Africa and get it? No, then it's not your own line. Shut up. You know, they just come up with these things, and there's nobody to say, no, cut that out. Like, there's nobody to tell them, like, no, that's not how that works, so stop. So they put it on there, and so then they start trying to charge a whole bunch of money for it when they make a combo. And that's not really how it works. So the market's not dying, you're just selling crappy make-believe stuff. That's what it is. You know, I guess that's basically that. So your $5,000 multiple gene male is still available after 6, 7, 8 months for sale because it looks like a spinner blast, basically, or something like that. You know, that's why it's still available, because it's ugly. And people now need that wow factor when they spend their money. So be smart about your pairings. Don't waste your time. Don't waste everybody else's time. And yeah, and then also stop adding pretend genes to the stuff that you have, and it'll be easier to sell. And that's it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.